Hey guys, Danny Johnson here, and today I just want to talk a little bit about timing chains. And check the video description. I have this full walkthrough video start to finish on how to replace them as well as your tensioners. So basically what you want to do is start off with your 18mm wrench and put your crankshaft to where it's at top dead center. So there's going to be two notches. The first one is just before top dead center, and then if you look next to it where it says TDC, that's where you're going to move it over so that you're right on top dead center. And you'll see this actually better once the crank pulley and the timing cover are off, but it's good just to start in this position here. But basically what you're going to look for are the timing marks. So on the front of the cam gear, you'll see the little circle, and you notice our master link is lined up on that, and we have that on the driver's side as well. So both sides need to be set to the same, where those dots are lined up with the marks, and if you come under, you'll see right at the 6 o'clock position, there's the other timing dot that's right on the bottom. Now, what you'll notice is if you rotate the engine, eventually these two will start to line up, but it'll actually take 58 revolutions to get these timing marks to line up. And what I wanted to show you was that's not entirely necessary. Every time you rotate it and you have your 6 o'clock mark down here, this one we happen to have lined up with our master link. And as long as you have it with that 6 o'clock mark at the bottom, you can actually make your own marks on the timing chains. So what you'll do is just pull out a Sharpie and you can draw and color these two links in on each side. So just right where that dot is, color that whole chain link. And then once you take the chain off, then we're going to lay it out on the ground to make sure that they are on opposite ends, and that will ensure that your timing was right. But it really doesn't matter, because when you go to a new chain, you're going to find the master links that are already colored and line those up instead. But if you are reusing your old chain, then you can still do this either way. So it's not like the master links have any difference on the chain other than they are marked to be at the ends of each chain. Now, before you remove the tensioners and the chains, you do want to use a cam holding tool like this, and it will hold the camshaft still because there is pressure for which springs are being compressed, for the valves that are currently open. Then with an 18mm wrench, I like to put it right on the end, and you can loosen that holding tool and slightly move it back and forth to line the chain marks up again. But we want to just make sure that in the end, the most important part are that the master links are on the dots there on each side, and like we showed you at the very bottom, it must be right at the 6 o'clock mark, and that's for both sets of chains, the inner and the one that's more forward. Okay, so here I drew my own lines. So as an example, with the chain removed, when you lay it out, you can see the chain mark that I made, a little timing mark, but if you lay the chains out, the ones that are exactly on each end should be where those marks came from. And most importantly, put back that way. Here's the master links where they ended up, and again, it doesn't really matter as long as when you're putting it back together that you have it set up to where the timing marks are proper. Just make sure that it's lining up at the top and the bottom. And again, when you rotate the engine to check everything's good, it's going to take you 58 rotations in order to come back to where those timing marks line up. So thanks to Todd Warren, he's the one who mentioned that 58 rotation information, and he said that does not count the secondary chains if you're on a 4-valve like this one. But we just wanted to show this, so check the video description. I have the full start to finish install on these primary chains, replacing the tensioners and the guides and everything. But yes, it's important for these to be lined up, but that's for taking it apart and putting them back on just to make sure your timing's right. But the chain itself, you just want to make sure you have the correct amount of links, that they're at the ends of the chain to make those reference marks. So anyway, if you have questions, put it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks, guys. To do was just verify that our dot to dot that we had drawn on it was in fact at each end. This is how you lay the timing chains out. Each link on the far ends they should be the exact opposite length away. You could see on here the factory timing ones that were different colors, but you'd have to rotate the crank several times to get that to line up perfect. So making our own marks also worked.